York is like one of the most hit areas for this in the US, diba? Like in this
Yeah, I
pandemic.
mean it's I mean right now it's the epicenter. It's like the worst. Anywhere, everywhere. Anywhere, everywhere.
But I don't know if you've been keeping track of what has been happening here in Cebu, no? Like I'm just curious to compare like the differences in like how these different cities have been approaching it. Like you mentioned, pause, the New York pause,
Right.
and then
Right.
and here we don't say, obviously we don't say Cebu pause. It's
Yeah.
like ECQ is our term. I don't know what that means actually. Like executive, I don't know, community quarantine, something. Yeah, executive community. Oh,
Enhanced
enhanced
term.
community quarantine. I think.
Uh,
Yeah. Have you been keeping track what's been
I'll be
happening here?
honest. I'll be honest, I had to Google ECQ as well because I noticed
Oh,
all my Bisaya friends had like hashtag ECQ. I'm like, unsa din ang ECQ, uy? And then the next step is G, GCQ? Is that what it
GCQ.
is?
Yeah,
GCQ. Unsa naman ang G?
general. I don't know.
General?
I.
Okay,
Uh,
I'm not gonna ask you. Um, so I actually watched the episode Kamo ni Mayan talking about bubble tea and talking
oh,
about
okay.
there was a moment in that episode where you mentioned like ang mentality o ang cultural differences gyud like sa Cebu ug sa New York, and I can say nga like badlungon gyud gahig ulo ang mga tao dire.
Oh
I
yeah.
used to think I used to think gahig o ang like Pinoy or Bisaya, but like gahig gyud sila ulo dire.
I have a
Um
theory about that. Like, kanang the, okay, I have a theory about like in the U.S. in particular. So the U.S. is founded on like freedom, individuality. You
right,
know, kanang you are allowed to do your own thing. Ikaw na bahala. And
right.
then all of a sudden, that's why it's very difficult. I think in the I'm curious about the differences because like here, for example, I'm not allowed to go to Mandaue. I cannot
Oh
cross
wow.
city borders. No.
Wow.
Yeah, like I cannot cross. So
So there are literally checkpoints nga mag
yeah, there's like army
okay.
guys there, and yeah, then let's say you go through with your car, they'll ask you to put down your window. What are you doing? Do you have a pass? Uh, that sort of thing. And you cannot do that in the U.S. I assume. I don't think they're going to stop you because that's like a freedom thing, diba?
I mean, I feel like it took everyone a while to actually wear a mask. Like the whole concept of wearing a mask was so foreign to them. Because if you look at, the other side of the world, like all the Asian countries, it doesn't even need to be COVID-19. When we're sick, you'll see, people will wear a mask, and it's not
Yeah,
like, why are you wearing a mask?
Japan.
Japan, everyone wears
Yeah.
masks. Like in Hong Kong, like um I definitely agree with you nga diha kita different.
The
For example, Cinco de Mayo happened just a few days ago, and before that, it was also like a very beautiful weekend in New York. Like both Saturday and Sunday, like stellar gid ang weather. Everyone was out. Everyone was out in the parks. I went out for a jog. I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. I went out for a jog, but like I wasn't near anyone. I wore my mask. I wore like my glasses. But people are like having picnics and nagtapok-tapok as if it's a normal summer when it's really not, you know?
that's
Um,
I'm kind of curious. So what are you allowed to do and what are you not allowed to do over there in New York?
so when the New York pause happened, like they closed all the not everything was just shut. And they only left pharmacies open, groceries open, restaurants were not allowed to take in customers to dine in anymore. It was only it's only takeout and delivery, also at present. So people are technically allowed to go out because they have not, this is my understanding, they haven't shut down the parks like Central Park, Riverside Park, all the parks in Brooklyn, they're open. So you will see people jogging outside, you will see people walking their dog, you will see people like, you know, taking their baby out. Um, so it's actually less strict than Cebu from the sounds of it.
Oh, for sure.
Uh,
I am envious that you've been able to go out for a jog. Like here, like I do a lot of cycling, and the
yeah,
only cycling I get to do outside right now is if I want to buy like something from the convenience store or go to a fruit stand or the supermarket. So because if I don't have a reason to be out, there is a possibility that somebody will go to me and ask me what I'm doing and where I'm
right.
going. No,
So you're
and
saying it. It really is strict. Like someone is
mm,
looking, is like watching you.
there's
You're saying
checkpoints
in Cebu.
everywhere,
See,
not
we don't.
just the
At least
borders.
from my understanding, we don't have that here. So I've been
Mm.
in the city. I've been in Manhattan the whole time. I don't think there's any such thing as checkpoints. Like wala gyud. There's social distancing when you go to grocery stores or pharmacies. Like obviously there's like the 6 feet rule, and they have these stickers on the floor to like remind people of that. But checkpoints, margwa gyud.
Well, like, the reason why I want to point it out is like I mean I didn't know that no nga walay checkpoints, but I figured that it's probably not there because the reason why I want to point it out is like you hear a lot of I've honestly been trying to stay away from social media, but like when you do go on social media, at least for me, I don't know if it is for you. Everybody's Facebook is different, but like when I do
Right.
go on social media, people post kanang murag kanang unsa man ni, "Uy, we're not handling it well," or this country is handling it like this. How come we're not like that? And yeah,
That's Cebu people saying that.
generally, I know not everybody, of course, but it pops up. Like, there's always somebody complaining about how it's been handled, and then the truth is, every country is different. Uh,
Yeah.
the norms of every country is different, and then the way that they've been approaching this whole pandemic is different. And the truth is, nobody knows the right answer. No.
Yeah, I guess there is no right answer. Um
Yeah.
I'll even see like old people going out.
No way.
Some of them
Crazy. Really?
not wearing masks. Like I'm jogging in the park with a mask and like my apocalyptic gear on, and I'll see two old people sitting on a bench, and I'm like, that bench has coronavirus. I will bet you $20 it has coronavirus. um
uh,
Murag, lahi gyud, like lahi gyud. I'm gonna say it and just like Bisaya ha kay fina ko nadyo ko like friends nag-watch ka like in the first place mas hugawan gyud sila here. So
mm,
murag it's just gahi gyud sila ulo. I'm really scared for so our pause ends on May 15, so that's 3-4 days from now.
yeah.
I'm honestly really worried because I mean you're gonna have like a big chunk of people that will probably still continue to quarantine, and then you'll have another chunk of people who will start going out, will probably have to start going to work again, and obviously taking the precautions. And I feel like you'll still have a big number of people here who as if wala na happen ang COVID. What about
Mm,
you give people like an inch and they'll take like 5 miles?
yeah. I mean, that's that's human nature. Like, kind like, so like I was probably like you in a way. So in the beginning of all this, when they started announcing it, I was like,
Right.
I'm in Cebu. Like, in me pa, like I used to joke with my cousin, I'm like, why? Ang nindot sa Cebu, ba? It's like nothing happens here. Like we are not included in whatever
Right.
happens in the world. you know?
We're mainly the audience.
Eh, no, but I'm kidding. Like, karang, it was a joke, ba? And then all of a sudden, you know, we're now
Boom.
the yeah, like it is here. Like we have more at, well, I think it's a good thing actually. Like, there's a lot of testing here in Cebu. So if you look at the number
Good.
of positive cases, we have the most number of positive cases in the whole Philippines. Pero
Okay.
we also have the most kanang we've also been testing the most, no?
Right. I
Like
feel
by
like
far. it seems.
Yes, Governor Gwendolyn, she took action pretty quick. Like I started seeing things like executive orders were being put down, people were told
Oh
to
yeah, yeah,
quarantine.
yeah.
Like I feel like you guys acted really quick. I mean, compared to how they acted here, like it was so slow. The way they acted was so slow here. I feel like it could have been totally avoided. But
Mm.
hinay gyud.
I attribute that to kana like the culture lagi gyud nga sa
Yeah,
US because it's more kana it's individual freedoms ba. Here we are I think Filipinos tend to be a more generally a more obedient culture in a
that's
sense,
very true.
no?
Yeah, I think that's it's so deep in us. We learn it, from the families that we grew up with. It's just so deep in our culture.